Hey everyone, it's me, Stagger. Now, in in celebration of season 4, episode 22, showing the perfect pairings and the reason why they're the perfect pairings of the main six, and just the main six alone. I have too many charts that a shipper probably shouldn't have, but pretty much it showed the main sixes. Perfect pairings in terms of just sticking to the main six, and it showed it perfectly, and I mean perfectly. Now, for those who don't know, all of you, or majority of you, don't really know how I ship. Well, it can be summarized in this Wikia article and this book. Don't like reading? Read this pic. And so, the thing is, though, those things are this thing right here. I'm still kind of working on. I haven't read through the entirety of the book. If you plan on reading the book, I would recommend you do skip the introduction because it has a lot to deal with religion. Anyway, so yes. As a shipper in the fandom, I gotta say, this represented the main six's relationship, OTPs, perfectly. Now, even though half of you are like, what are you talking about? These aren't really their OTPs. Oh yeah, alright, fine. I will say this. This is my view as seeing them as an OTP, because I know everyone has their own view of what an OTP is, and the way I see it is actual true love, and not like, it has everything that like kind of like a fairy tale kind of love, not where it's all about enjoyment and excitement. It's about settling down and starting a family and everything in between. Also, another thing is, I really don't look at anything except for compatibility. Anything except for compatibility, with the exception of age, and there's another thing, but I can't think of it right now. But I rarely do think about it, but age is kind of a factor because of, in my opinion, I want love where, in my opinion, I believe that love should only be considered as love if both know the concept of love and how love works. So pretty much anyone that is age 12 and above can be with each other. However, for ages 12 and under, is platonic and only platonic. Oh, wait, now I remember. The other thing that I don't like, that is also an exception to love anything goes, is I do not like three-way loves. I mean, there can be love triangles. That's fine. But where three love each other, that's not for me. So anyway, here's the thing. My OTP is Flutterdash, no contest. It's on the top of my list through every single type of pairing, with the exception of straight pairings, because obviously this is not a straight pairing. And because it has everything, well, pretty much everything. Here's a statistic look on it right here. It's a guardianship and a love, and just true love in general. It fits the whole spectrum, the four types of love, and it's just perfect. And it's just perfect. It's just, and it even has a lot of evidence to back it up, because think about this. They were childhood friends from a long time ago. So there could have been a lot of time to build up that relationship between the two. And these two stick it out to the end. And Fluttershy clearly is in love with Rainbow Dash. And Rainbow Dash, I believe that she does actually really do have feelings for Fluttershy. But the thing is, though, Fluttershy has more feelings than Rainbow Dash has. Fluttershy has more feelings for Rainbow Dash than Rainbow Dash has feelings for Fluttershy. But yet, Rainbow Dash really shows off that guardianship towards Fluttershy. And is even and I would even say is willing to actually start up a relationship with Fluttershy because of how strong their bond is. So honestly, this guardianship to love can actually be like the absolute thing for love right here. It just has to be. And really, this was really shown in this episode. In fact, even one of the lines of the episode, it just melted my heart. One of the things that Fluttershy said when she dropped that bear whistle. Oh my gosh, I couldn't help but squeal in delight of how much of what she just said. Oh my god, it's heart attack. It was just so cute. Oh dear. And then once Rainbow Dash realized that Fluttershy wasn't happy, she went to the rescue to save her. She gave up her one of the things that she wanted the most, so that way she could protect Fluttershy, and she saw the error of her ways, and oh god, it's just really cute. And I gotta say, was perfect example of their relationship. Alright, next, let's go ahead and talk about Rare Jack. In my opinion, this is probably about number 33 in MLP shipping overall. Number 7 in terms. Oh wait, no, that's a bit too generous actually. About a 9 in terms of lesbian shipping in MLP and just MLP. I had to specify just MLP. And then for main 6, I would have to say it is probably about I have to say it's like a 13. Yeah, every single compatibility over here. But in my opinion, this is the best compatibility in terms of Applejack and Rarity. Because Rarity and Applejack, you might say that they don't really have too much in common, which creates a huge black relationship towards them. And the thing is, though, they drive each other crazy. So really, this is more or less an Rose relationship. And but as for like the other stuff, like Philos, I would probably give that a 7. For storage, though, I would give that probably the least, like 5, and then, or not really the least, but still pretty bad. But agape, definitely a 9, because really their shocking development in terms of relationship has to deal with their philos and eros, and then whenever they surprise each other, which then creates a lot of eros, but their philos kind of stands out, and in terms of how they're even able to be next to each other, because if they weren't connected by the elements, and if they didn't hang out with their other friends, then most likely their philos would probably have been a 3, because they would not be able to stand each other at all. And yet every stat still stays the same. And in this episode, we see just how much their philos relationship that they have, because they were able to stand each other and actually argue about being the better pony. And then when the end, where it was a gape, because surprise, surprise, yeah, I gave you this. I traded my part of the bargain so that way I can give you this. And then I traded my part of the bargain so I can give you that. And then after that, you can lead to the imagination. But essentially, though, that's kind of how their rose relationship works. And that's about it. Their relationship is built on hate, but it ends up becoming love. And that's essentially what a spade relationship is. And now, let's go ahead and talk about Twinkie Pie. I love saying that, or Twi Pie if you want to be that way. All right. Now, Twi Pie is a very unique relationship. Honestly, I wouldn't even have any way of actually describing this, but if I have to say something, it will most likely be a guardianship. So, a flat-out diamond. And pretty much, they do look after each other. You can't have sanity without insanity. You can't have chaos without order. And pretty much that's what this entire relationship is. Just chaos and order. So for their storage, not very high. Honestly, Twilight would be considered the parent. Despite Pinkie Pie also showing some kind of stability when it comes to babysitting and everything in between, but their storage is still really low, because honestly, I just don't see them raising a child. So for that, I have to give it a 3. It's not that great. For their eros, that's another thing. That's another thing. It's not really too keen when it comes to their love. I mean, I could see them getting it. I could see them, kind of getting intimate. But the thing is, there will always be something holding them back. Whether it's just themselves or an outside force, or there's just something holding them back. And so for that, I had to give it a 6. But really, their philos and agape make up for it. This is more or less of a friendship kind of love this is more or less a philos love than an eros love. And I gotta take a drink of water. This is more of a philos love than it is an eros love. Although I can see a few kisses here and there, a giggle, a blush, and then maybe I had a wonderful night, let's do this again sometime, and blah blah blah. But Philos, definitely a 9. Agape, totally a 10. Actually, no, Philos is more or less an 8. But even so, that Agape really is really what keeps the balance between the two, which causes their relationship. and honestly, that is the best way I can really describe Twinkie Pie. But yeah, and as you've seen in the episode, pretty much Twinkie Pie did something completely crazy and completely stupid. However, if it wasn't for that, the order would not have been there at all, where Twilight learned a lesson where it's like, oh yeah, these may not have any value to me, but they have sentimental value. These may not have, there's nothing really I want for these books, mainly because they're the ones that made me who I am. And that, to me, is more valuable than anything else. Also, we kind of got a hint there for Twinkie Pie shippers. She mentioned the book that where she met Twinkie Pie. Now, you can argue that, she did that because Twinkie Pie was there. However, for our shippers, we take what we can get, especially in a kids show. So, in that case, we will say that she did mean that out of love. And always remember, though, this is something I should probably mention before I do anything else. Love actually, no. Now, let me rephrase that. Love does not always equal relationship. It can mean, love could mean friendship. Love can mean mother and daughter, brother and sister. It could be platonic. Love can be platonic, and that's what. And I do see Twinkie Pie as a bit, and I do see Twinkie Pie mostly platonic. But the thing is, it still has that spark that can equal to any rose love, and that's basically it. And I can get into more detail of what I consider is most compatible with each of the main 6, and I can go them individually, but that'll be for another video. And and some of these videos I will only do if requested, and that would be one of them that I would do. Is my vision of each pony from the main 6 and how they're compatible with. I'll just go ahead and say that Fluttershy is most compatible. But that'll be it. Anyway, so that's it, and I'll be seeing ya. And I really did like this episode as a shipper. Analytically, yeah, I guess. But fandom, yes, definitely yes. Yes. They're finally gonna make things canon, which is epic.